Warning. The following video presentation contains scenes of extreme deliciousness. Failure to either eat first or bring a snack to consume during the presentation could result in wanting to lick the screen or in some way act the fool. Ain't nobody want that. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK.
Flippy pickle! Pickle!
Don't!
Take two!
Take two. I was trying to hit the mute button, and in order to turn the mic back on, and apparently I killed the stream. But we're back, and
We have the combination!
we have the combination. Oh my goodness. What is happening, everybody? Welcome. Yeah, so a little bit different setup today, obviously. Welcome to our dining room. Hey, you're kidding me. Lumpy Pickle. Anybody else who's hanging out? Yeah, we're doing Korean barbecue today. Sunday, we had dinner over at a friend's place, and she had requested Korean barbecue, so I was like, okay, cool, I can do that. And, so I made, sides and, kind of all that other stuff. And we took it over there and had a great time. But it was like, hey, you know what? We need to do this on stream. And doing this is kind of something that we had talked about and had been wanting to do for a while in order to kind of have dinner with folks. And
Because that's the best part, is having dinner with your friends, sitting around the table chit-chatting.
Exactly. I mean,
how could we do this? So,
yes, how could we do this? And so
it's been done.
It's been done. I wish
live like this.
I wish I could show you all exactly what I've done. So I've had to move just about everything from the kitchen setup out here. I found a couple of stand lights that I had, so I have those in here.
And he had to find them too.
I had to find them.
They've been buried in the garage for a while.
I found them, got them set up, made sandbags in order to put on the legs. So
Did you get actual sand or you just put dirt?
Actual sand.
Anyways, yeah, sandbags.
Did that. Above us is a ceiling fan light, which I might, once I get up, I might tilt the camera back so you can actually see what I had to do. But I took out the normal kind of warm white bulbs, kind of that incandescent yellow lighting, and I put in daylight balance bulbs. But I knew that having the light directly overhead was just going to be way too harsh, and I was going to need to diffuse it. And so what ended up having to happen was, okay, I needed to build a diffuser, and so I did.
It's out of a tomato trellis that a friend gave us, and an undershirt that I threw in the donation pile because I'd never wear it.
It's a white undershirt. Yeah. So I have this little billowing thing that's literally hanging from our ceiling fan in here.
So great. And as you spin the fan, the trellis and the shirt spins with it. It's epic. Like, this is how it's done.
It's it's completely and utterly DIY. and it's working.
Works great.
Other than the fact that
Use what you got, man.
use what we got. Other than the fact that our coloring is a little blue, which is really kind of ticking me off because I tried to correct for it, but it just wasn't agreeing with me for some reason. So other than that, we got that. I do have our kind of a close-up cam for the food that's over here. In fact,
Yep, and we have a towel to put down because
I know you can't. There we go. You can see us there, but ooh, food shot. So we got that going on.
Yeah, fat has a lot of splatter, so we've learned to put a towel down on the table.
Yes, so that's what that beach sheet is for, is it's going to go down. But wanted to at least say, hey, what's up, before we went and got everything and kind of got everything else set up. Today's a little bit different in that not only are we out here and we're effectively going to be eating, not effectively, we are going to be eating.
Yeah.
We're going to be eating a lot, and it's going to be glorious.
Because neither of us have had lunch today, so
Yes.
we're very hungry
In anticipation of this.
and ready to go. Well,
Yes,
I was busy doing financial statements.
that's true, and I was busy
But they're done.
doing all of this.
Yeah.
But like I'm not like making basically anything really. It's purely
Cook.
yeah, it's purely cooked. Like everything is prepped and done and ready to go. And I mean, I'll talk through everything. And there's a lot more I could have done, but I didn't, only because it's just the two of us.
Well, and this is nice. Like we've always wanted to have you guys at the table with us. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see how this goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
It could be an epic fail and the lights fall.
But that's what the sandbags are for, is to keep them in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I so the TV that I had set up in the kitchen, some of y'all have seen it before. That's what I was using as a monitor in order to read chat and everything. And what was that, like a week or two ago, for whatever reason it glitched out, and it just kept glitching out.
Planned obsolescence.
Sure. Anyways, I pulled the back off of it today and vacuumed it out and fired it up and had a laptop plugged into it.
Did it work?
Well, so it mirrored the screen, but it didn't. The laptop didn't detect it as an external monitor, which I think is a sign that the main board is going out on it. And if that's the case, I should be able to get a new one.
Ooh.
Maybe,
Mr. TV repairman.
Yeah.
You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah. Well, and if the main board is as cheap as it looks like it might be, it might only be like a $35-$40 fix.
Nice.
And if that's the case, that's fantastic.
Nice.
Yes, I'm like that would be the most ideal, is being able to replace that main board so that we can fire it up. Hey, Scott Connors here.
Yay.
Welcome, buddy. Yeah, because having that large TV to look at chat was really nice. So hopefully we can get that fixed. And if not,
that kind of TV was pretty cheap. Like,
yeah,
I bet we could find one on Marketplace or something for.
Oh yeah, no,
$40.
I that night I went on Marketplace and was just kind of scrolling through some of the listings. I found some TVs for, like $40-$50, and that
Worst
would be
case.
Yeah, worst case scenario.
Anyways,
But at any rate,
that's irrelevant.
yeah. So we're going to
Feast together.
time to feast. Have I tried a new main board? Yeah. That's the plan. Is I got to get a new main board because, like I said, Lumpy, because the laptop didn't detect it as an external display, but just mirrored it, and then like the display like glitched out in that it repeated a line all the way down, which tells me that something is up with the main board. That because the sound was still coming through just fine. But yeah, she's hungry. Yes. Okay. So food time.
We're both hungry.
All right. So we're gonna move some stuff around. We're gonna bring everything in. We're gonna get everything set up. That could be the DHCP settings in the TV.
Ooh.
It shouldn't be because there was no wireless connection to it. It was a hardwired HDMI cable.
But who cares?
Hey, Scott2572, welcome. Alright. So, we need to move some stuff. And the dogs are like, hey, there's action going on. It must be, like, food for us time. Not quite. Alright, hopefully I don't kill the stream. Alright. Yeah, but like we said, I mean, we've learned from experience that doing this, it tends to spatter a fair amount of fat because, well, we like eating things like pork belly, pork jowl, which you can't see me cheeks, because they are super delicious. And this just makes it's so much easier to launder a towel than having to totally wipe up a table. So, okay.
Both of us probably should walk away.
That's alright.
So, have you had Korean barbecue? It is glorious.
Alright, so I'm gonna, if you could start setting stuff up, that'd be...
We highly recommend you try it. There's a couple places, maybe, you know, it's all you can eat Korean barbecue for not too much money.
It's like 25, 30 bucks.
Yeah, $30 a meal, but it's all you can eat.
And for everything that you get, it's actually, it's a good deal. There's a couple of, sorry, I need you to really scoot in.
I gotta scoot in!
There's like a couple of things that I would usually avoid. Like if you go out to Korean barbecue, don't order the chicken.
Yeah, don't get chicken.
Like if you're paying for all you can eat, don't order the chicken.
This is a little tiny burner. It's like $20. And it comes with this little can. Well, you have to buy the canisters. How much are the canisters?
A 4-pack nowadays, it's like $11.
Yeah, but it's
Which, by the way, I found a 4-pack.
nice. It's fantastic because you could either cook regular stuff or like pots on it, or you could buy trays. We bought this tray, also $20. There was a huge debate on whether or not it's dishwasher safe. Our Korean student couldn't tell us. Like, dude, you speak Korean, read it.
I got you the blue pandas.
Thanks.
I got the red pandas. I grabbed us forks because just in case, and I also got the good spoons.
Oh, the good spoons. Korean soup spoons.
I'm gonna go grab the rest of the stuff, if you will. Put
Sure.
those out, and then we'll talk about them.
Yeah, DK will explain all the banchan you see here. There's a plethora, because...
This isn't even like all of them that
Yeah, he does all kinds of banchan. Yeah, you're kidding me. Well, there's really not any gluten in this meal, to be honest. I mean, there might be a couple of...
There is...
Oh, the tteokbokki. That's these little white pieces here. This is tteokbokki, but you don't have to eat that. Well, these are pretty hard.
I soak them, but they soften up when you throw them.
Okay. You have fresh water. I have water. Here's the meat.
Yep.
if you can-
Rice. Last thing we need.
A rice bowl, please. The dogs are like, what is this smell? It smells amazing. Yeah. Our feast. It awaits us. So we have pork jowl, pork belly, and Korean short ribs. That did you marinate these? They look marinated.
I did.
We did marinate them.
I made the marinade last night.
What do you do?
Yeah,
They marinated. A traditional marinade, maybe?
yes. I'll talk about that.
Scott Connor's happy I used the word plethora. Or you did, one of us. It's a common.
Excuse me, Jane.
And this fly has just come in from the outside. Let's get it.
There you go. I'll let you figure out what to do with it.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. I'm like, everything is on the table.
I'm telling you, we need I want a table that's a foot wider.
Oh, totally. Let's see. Alright, yeah, that's on camera. Let's check this shot.
Money shot.
Money shot. Alright, so that's... I'm thinking we need to move this over a little bit so we can get the really good shots. I don't know why, but the table seems like way smaller than normal.
Well, it does seem smaller, but it's not.
No, it's still same size. Other than, gotta move that, move this over. Nope, wrong way. Oh. I guess that makes sense. So it looks like you're going to be doing most of the grilling tonight.
Woo!
Either that or we swap places.
Your call.
I don't care. Either or. Well, it's not that far away. I can easily...
You got long arms.
I got long arms. That's usually how it goes. Alright, let's go back to the...
We're missing napkins.
Yes. Definitely need napkins.
Should I just get straight up paper towels, let's be honest?
Let's be honest. Alright. Okay, so there's this.
Days.
That. Oh. That. Bring that over.
One paper towel for you.
Oh, why, thank you. I'm thinking I'm gonna need about 6 more of these.
Shall I get you an actual towel or a tea towel?
Yeah, let's get a tea towel. In the meantime, here's the meat money shot. So yeah, pork jowl, which I sliced kind of against the grain. Let me see if this... Would you say that we have a plethora of piñatas? Not quite. Oh, let me turn off that camera. So this is the jowl here, and normally it comes in kind of like an oval shape, but you can see kind of the fat striations that denote the grain, and so you slice across it, so it's especially tender that way. Big old slices of belly that have skin attached still, and then the marinated short ribs, which have a pretty awesome amount of marbling on them. Okay. Yes, it is. I would just put it on the lowest. Okay. So just a couple of like what we got going on here.
Is that too loud?
It is pretty loud. I would put it actually outside the door. Stupid fly. Red leaf lettuce for wrapping stuff up. This is pickled radish that's had a quick pickle put on it with a touch of chili flake. The pickle is kind of sweet, kind of sour. It's just super thin slices. Like, way thin.
It's really good.
Super good.
That's one of my favorites.
Freshly made rice. This is soy sauce pickled garlic cloves. Soy sauce pickled onion and chili. This is just salt. Samjang. It's a dipping sauce that's super common, and there's a bajillion recipes for it. This one's pretty simple. It's got the doenjang, the fermented bean paste, a little bit of the gochujang, the chili paste. There's minced up scallion, garlic, sesame oil, sesame seeds, and some honey that's in it. It's not super spicy. You certainly can make it really spicy, but it's also like just really good as like a vegetable dip. I've got sliced up cucumber here, as well as long bits of scallion, which go into the wraps.
Or straight up.
Or straight up. I already talked about the soy sauce pickled onion and chili. This is a non-spicy mung bean sprout banchan. It's quickly blanched, and then it's tossed in little black pepper, a little bit of sesame oil, some sesame seeds, scallion, garlic. That's a super common one. This isn't a fermented kimchi. This is actually a super fresh kimchi. It's called, I'm gonna massacre this, Gyotojori or something like that. I forget the exact name, but
it's called Tasty.
It's called Tasty, but it's made from like the inner leaves of a head of Napa cabbage, and the little green bits are actually garlic chives. Whoop. That popped out of my mouth.
Did you make this today?
I just made it, a couple hours ago. It's got a bit of a kick.
Kimchi.
But it's not fermented. It's really fresh.
And it has a little bit of kick.
I told you.
Woo! Oh, man.
Oh, foul. This is why you should have an apron, too.
We haven't even started. I'm already making them up.
But, yeah, so this is kind of what we... Oh, and then on here I've got a couple of sliced up cremini mushrooms that we'll grill up, a couple of giant enokis, some shishito peppers, and Korean rice cake tteokbokki, which we're soaking, but they seem to be a little cracked, but they'll soften up once we get them on the grill. Is this on there right? It just didn't seem like it was sitting.
It was, but then we moved it.
Okay. Catch bowl here, because the fat will just render off into that. In terms of kind of like strategies for eating, I personally go for like the jowl and the belly, stuff that isn't marinated first. So then that way, when we get to the short ribs, it doesn't have anything else.
Cross-contamination.
Yeah, it doesn't have cross-contamination of flavors and stuff like that. So, let's see.
Let's get this thing started.
There we go. And I've got an extra canister over here.
Sucker heats up pretty fast. Do you want to put all the jowl on there to start, or?
Might as well.
This is a lot of meat. That's what she said.
It's true. Because you're a she, and you said it.
Mm-hmm. Is this a brand new canister?
It's the one that we put in on Sunday.
What if...
What? Hang on. It's normally a good strategy to put the giant mushrooms on there, like in the beginning, because it takes them a really long time to grill up. Action shot.
Nice.
Nice.
We just sit and wait.
Yeah.
Load up with the banchan. This mung bean is one of my favorites. And banchan could be all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
One of the local places we like to go to, they have corn and cheese that you cook up in these little tiny pie tins.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, it's super easy to make, but again, it's just the two of us, and so I kind of feel like...
Yeah. You don't need to go all out? What? Use my fork to get some.
Go for it.
Oh! If you didn't notice, I'm kind of messy. We all can't be perfect. And this is on worldwide television. But there's a towel on the table.
Why we got them.
The splattering does sometimes, you gotta be careful because every once in a while it'll jump out and bite you. It seems to bite me more than DK here.
Either that or I just don't react to it like she does.
I'm a baby. Good call with the apron.
Let's see. Don't die.
I'm not dying. Okay, anything else while I'm up?
No, that should be fine.
I see the ovens are flashing lights. I think you blew a circuit breaker today.
I didn't blow a circuit. There was a... It wasn't me. The power, like, went out briefly.
A couple lettuce leaves, please.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Oh my gosh, there was this huge accident on the way to work. The main street I take
Yeah.
completely shut down. Like, it added, I don't know, 10 minutes to my drive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to pull over for the cop cars and the ambulance, and then the ambulance and fire department just completely blocked the street. Crazy day. So I was gonna get to work on early, but not that I had set hours. It bit me. I can do this. I can toughen up my skin.
There we go. Oh yeah. Gotta have scissors. You have to have scissors when you go to Korean barbecue, because that's how you cut up like the big stuff. And it's looking like some of these pieces are ready to go.
Yes, please. Pork jowl is one of our favorites.
Oh, hi, Jane.
I should get like the barbecue tongs so we can rotate the mushroom over there.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like our cook fast.
Well,
And like always, at our friend's house, we set off the smoke alarm.
yeah. Alright.
The smoke alarm in this area has been dismantled. I know. Can we pop on some pork belly now?
Yeah, do you want any more jowl?
Absolutely.
Okay. I figured. You want this or you good?
Here, let's split it.
Okay.
Oh, you can keep it. You keep it.
Alright.
Because we got pork belly. This is really the first time I've done the cooking.
Yeah.
Should we cook some bokkinos?
Sure.
That can take a long time too. It's total SMR night. That's good. I don't want to hurt. Woo! How was your guys' day? Anything exciting?
There we go.
It's a definitely eat with your hands kind of meal.
Oh yeah, big time.
One of my favorites.
Cheers.
Oh, you got it. Woo! Our dream dining room would have a vent above the kitchen table. I shouldn't have to say, but our dream kitchen would have a vent in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Every place we've lived does not have a vent in the kitchen. You would think it's common. It's not. Super tasty.
Throw some shishito peppers on there.
So our students who stay with us, it's true. And it looks like he and his parents are going to get green cards.
Really?
Yeah. And I asked what state they were planning on living in, and he didn't say.
What all do I want? Sometimes you can just have an overload of choices where there's so much that you're like, oh my gosh, I need this, I need this, I need this, I need this.
Or sometimes you want just a bite of pork jowl dipped in the stuff.
Samjang.
That's tasty. What combination would you put together if you were here?
Perfect. Yeah, I was gonna say.
You pour one up with the other.
Yeah, there we go.
We're a team.
That's sleeping teamwork.
This kimchi, I really like. I prefer my kimchi fresh. I don't care for it fermented so much, but this is really good. It's got a kick though.
Yeah.
That's you're getting older and gonna need tongues later.
Very much so.
Stream is really quiet today.
That's okay. I think we're good to pull the belly.
Yes.
You want the big one?
Sure.
Yeah. Thankfully the towel's there so you can see what's what. I don't feel too bad about dripping on the table, like I said, just because that's why we put the towel down. Oh, thank you.
Should I put some more pork belly on?
Sure.
We got 3 more slices.
Grilled pepper?
Sure.
Go for it.
Thank you, Koreans, for making pork belly delicious.
Well, I would like to thank the farmers.
Well, but Korea made it, like, famously good to eat.
Straight up grilled, not bacon.
Yeah. I'm gonna get all up in your business.
That's fine. Which one was the first piece? Did you end up with 2?
I cut one in half.
Oh.
See,
I'm like...
the smaller piece, I cut in half.
Yeah.
Half for you, half for me. It splattered on me. Yeah, I thought that would be fair. Woo! Can you see it popping? I feel like it's making it rain, Raj.
It's popping off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a messy meal.
Hey, Uncle Stinky, welcome. Sizzle so ASMR.
Yeah.
I think we're about ready to cut the mushroom.
I was just thinking the
So
same
let me
thing.
stand up for that. I got it.
Aw, thanks. Ha. I'd like the scissors when you're done.
Of course. just about ready.
They look good.
Yeah, they do.
And they taste great. You want to cut one in half again?
Sure.
Dude, this one's free. Oh, why don't you cut this one? Sure. Woo!
Oh, dual action there.
Should have got my own.
You still can.
I still can. That bulky's a little hard.
Well, I soaked them for like an hour. Thinking it might be a good idea to turn off the burner for the time being.
Okay, eat what we got, and then we'll do
See what we got, and then we'll move on to the short ribs.
the main event.
Yeah, the main event.
Is that off?
I don't know. Did you turn it off?
No. Oh! That's how that works.
There we go. Excellent. Yeah, the pork belly. Whew. This stuff is so good.
Yeah, I mean, it's pork belly. It's not quite bacon, but
Yeah, it hasn't been cured, but dip in the salt. Mmm.
couple more lettuce leaves.
A what?
Lettuce leaves, please.
There you go.
Big pumpkin lettuce leaves. Thankfully, we're married, so I can double dip.
Mm-hmm.
Double dip! If you were here, we wouldn't do that, but you're not. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, I pickled these garlic cloves a few months ago, and you can tell that they've been in there a while because the pickling has gone all the way through. Couldn't think of pork belly, knew it wasn't bacon exactly. Yeah, close. Yeah. Belly, bacon. I mean, at least here in the US, it's pretty synonymous. And yeah. Oh. Grab some of this pickled radish. 'Cause that with the belly's gonna be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That sweet and a little bit of acid. With that crispy, fatty yumminess.
That equals flavor.
So for the spicy for this, I got two things going on, Uncle Stinky. I've got samjang, which is a dipping sauce that has doenjang, the fermented bean paste, as well as gochujang, the fermented chili paste. And then this fresh kimchi has got a pretty serious kick too.
This has a very serious kick. This is probably maybe a 1-2 kick. This is more flavor kick. This is whoa! Clean my sinuses. Both have their purpose.
In a big way. Mm.
I'm gonna put this pepper in my lettuce leaf
That's
because
what
I
just-
can.
That's what I just did.
Smear it all up in here. Nobody's business.
I just grabbed it with my hands.
I should. Look at itty bitty. Tiny little piece.
Oh, that's good.
What?
The tteokbokki?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So
Look,
the tteokbokki looks
more
like it's been kind of deep fried,
it's more like pronounced duck boki.
but it's crunchy on the outside, but it's nice and chewy on the inside. It's really good. Cool, the kimchi I have is no kick at all. I use it on hot dogs mostly. Going to hit up H Mart for some real stuff soon. Nice. I have fermented kimchi in my fridge that I made. When did I make it?
Mm-hmm.
Might have been like in January or something like that. So it's got a really nice,
Wow, back.
yeah, a while back. It's got some nice fermentation to it. It's really good. But for today, I wanted the fresh stuff to kind of go with it. But yeah, to be honest, with stuff like this, I kind of prefer the fresh stuff, like the really fermented stuff. I'll have with just like rice or hey, G-Tribe Alex, thanks for the resub, buddy. Yeah, if you're not gonna eat the tteokbokki, I'll eat it.
I mean, yeah, you
That's
can.
so good.
It's one of my favorites.
See what I mean?
I don't think I'm churro.
Okay.
Minus all the cinnamon and stuff.
Yeah, no. Okay.
But like,
Yeah, that's
crispy on
a
the
real-
outside.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, G-Tribe, this is so friggin' tasty. Yeah, so the tteokbokki, because of the crunchy outside and kind of the soft, chewy inside, yeah, it's kind of like eating a churro.
Kind of.
Although the outside's definitely crunchier than a churro.
Yes. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh!
Good thing there's a towel down.
That's alright.
Should have had you pass it. That's okay.
Mm. I still love going to H Mart and buying something that I have no idea what it is. Under 12 bucks, that is. Yeah. I totally get that. Uncle Sinky, it's interesting. For the longest time, I was most comfortable in kind of like international markets. Like, I could be in a Japanese market, a Chinese market, a Mexican market, Middle Eastern market, Vietnamese, whatever. Totally comfortable. Because I usually had a really good handle on the cuisine and everything. The first time I went to a Korean market, I was completely out of my element. Just because it was nothing like what I was used to. Like, they didn't have a meat counter like I think of a meat counter. It's like, hey, here's a whole bunch of different kinds of meat and whatever. The meat counter at this market was all the prepared meats that you can get for stuff like this. And so it was very strange for me. I didn't really know what any of the stuff was. I'm not sure how much the mushroom is.
I would like more mushroom.
Okay. Yeah, like I didn't know what most of the stuff was. And so thankfully, I had a Korean that I could call, and he came over and kind of walked me through the market and pointed out some of the basic stuff. And
After that, it was your second home.
Yeah, after that, it was like a second home. In fact, that particular market, I went to a couple more times, but I found a couple more Korean supermarkets kind of on the same strip. And I found one in particular that I would go to like all the time. It literally became kind of like a second home kind of thing. That's how often I went there.
It was, we took our Korean student there
Yeah.
when we were traveling, because you gotta go on a road trip once while you're here. So we made him go on a road trip.
But we went to that market.
We went to that market, and he said it was the first time he felt like he was in Korea. Because it was just so much of, it was so similar to what you'd find in Korea.
The mukbang and ding lemon pickle. And we haven't even started grilling the short ribs yet.
Hi, Jane. This little... What's that?
I swept.
No, looks good. Because everything's out and moved. I should probably clean this one.
Probably mop or something. Jane want mukbang. Yes, that is very true.
Can you see him?
Yeah. I'm part Filipino and H Mart's still confusing place. I can completely understand how that would be the case, especially since Filipino cuisine and Korean cuisine are really different. Yeah, they're very different. But I think we can all agree that pork is delicious. That's some tasty, tasty food. Yeah. The produce at H Mart, a lot of the Korean markets tends to be on the less expensive side. This was, so funny, haha. I wrote a Yelp review of a place. I think it was a Korean market, if I remember correctly. But somebody in the comments complained that the produce, you could only use it for like a day or two, and it like would go bad or stuff like that. And I remember writing in sort of my review, and I acknowledged it, and I said, okay, yeah, I get how that's the case, but bear in mind that a lot of these people, like, it's a normal thing to go to the market on a daily basis, and you're only buying what you need for the day, so you're not like trying to buy it and hang on to it for 2 weeks, sort of thing. And part of the reason why the produce, the fruit, the produce, and all that stuff tends to be on the cheaper side is because the suppliers that they're getting it from, it's like they're trying to offload it because they've had it for a little too long, usually.
Well, some of it was kind of the bee fruit. It wasn't the
Yeah.
picture perfect, fancy market looking fruit.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, for instance, at least here in the U.S., you have the USDA, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and they have a grading system when it comes to fruits and produce. And the grading system, at least in the most what I call the white people markets here in the U.S., the fruit that you tend to see is what would be considered USDA grade fancy A. And it's like the picture perfect fruit. It's the picture perfect vegetables, generally speaking. It's the stuff that looks the best. But then you go to some of the, the Mexican, the Korean, Vietnamese, some of these other markets, and yeah, the produce is cheaper, but if you notice, the stuff maybe not the most photogenic, but it's still fantastic stuff.
It's from the same fields. It just doesn't look as pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
But who cares how it looks? It all comes out the same.
I understand, like, if you're working in a restaurant and you're producing food, you're trying to replicate the same dish over and over and over and have it look perfect every time. There are times when, yes, absolutely, getting that high quality stuff, the stuff that costs the most, you have to do it. But for a lot of other stuff, you don't have to purchase that high grade, because at that point you're just wasting money. So it's, you know, something to consider. That and what's interesting is, like, over in Europe, I understand at least that the there isn't the aversion like we have here in the US to imperfect fruits and vegetables. Mostly because they probably just understand that it tastes exactly the same. Okay, it may not be the prettiest, but it's going to eat just like every other thing. So,
Anyways. That's interesting. This mushroom's a little saltier than the one from Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
You dip it in anything?
Maybe.
It
just tastes salty.
shouldn't be, because it's from the exact same package.
Right. I'm just saying. Maybe it touched.
Could be. Hi, little girl. I think it's time to fire it back up.
Yes.
Time to get our short ribs on.
Time to get the short ribs on, and maybe some more tteokbokki.
Yes.
And a couple of those creminis.
Yeah, totally.
On Sunday, DK here asked me to cut. He said, cut the mushrooms into 3 parts.
Would you, pull it back?
Sure, okay. And so I was like, well, okay, 3 parts. So I cut it into, like, thinking a peace sign, and cut it into 3 parts.
Like a pie chart.
Yeah, like a pie chart. 3 pieces.
I meant in, like, slices.
He meant slices. Like, he's like, I appreciate you doing exactly what I asked you to do.
I had a good laugh at the table, because when I went to pull them out, I was just like, oh, that's really funny.
I cut them into thirds, you didn't say.
I made the mistake of assuming.
How did you flavor the short ribs?
Produce, always stock up on sweet potatoes. Yeah, totally. I can completely understand that, especially since sweet potatoes are very much a staple of the Korean diet. Like, they eat them all the time, so it makes sense they'd have them on the cheap. As for the marinade for the short ribs, it's actually pretty simple. It's onion, garlic, ginger, soy sauce, a little bit of water, some cooking rice wine, either mirin or sake, if you got it, a little bit of water, and then one of the main ingredients that you see in a lot of recipes is an Asian pear, which I could have gotten, but they wanted like $3 each. A fantastic replacement for those, if they're a little too expensive, is a Bosque pear. They have a very similar texture and flavor. It's not quite exactly the same, but it's really close. And so it approximates it really nicely, and that's what I used in this. And so it was Bosque pear, onion, garlic, ginger, and sesame oil. But marinated them overnight. Normally, like, if you marinate them a minimum of like an hour, you're usually good to go. But if you can marinate them overnight, even better. And that's since I did this yesterday, yeah, they marinated up until about a half hour before it started streaming.
What's really interesting, in Southern California, we could get marinated meat of all kinds of flavors
Yeah.
ready to go. You just throw it on your grill and eat. Up here, you can't. Like, you buy
You
buy the meat and marinate yourself.
They do have some, but not nearly as much. We were really spoiled with that market. We were really spoiled because they were fantastic. So, I so love those short ribs. I marinated them with soy ponzu, lemon lime, splash of rice vinegar, ginger, garlic, pepper, and salt. Grilled up with some rice. Sesame oil also. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. I mean, I'm a firm believer it's your food. Do whatever you want with it. I had, other than the Boss pears, I literally had everything else on hand anyways. And since I was already going to the market, it wasn't like it was a big deal. So.
Shall I flip? Getting close.
So, I'm going to say not quite yet. Just as a quick tip, when you start to see the juices, for beef especially, start to pull up on the top side, that's about the point when it hits medium rare. And so if that's what you want, then that's when you flip.
There you go. If you don't want that, you cook longer.
Or less.
Or less.
Is it pulling up? It looks like, yeah, it looks like it is. Yeah, go ahead and flip. Heck yeah. I'm gonna stand up. That's really awkward.
Look out, big guy. You have a quick spot?
No.
Super tasty.
There we go.
Those are cooking pretty fast.
Yeah, they are.
I'm thinking they're pretty close to being done.
Okay.
What
No.
do you think? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Just say pull them.
Round more?
Yep.
Round more.
That is correct. Thick side that way.
Thick side? How can you tell which side's thick?
Thin side, thick side.
I got it, I understand now.
Now you get it.
I can play Tetris.
You flipping the mushrooms and stuff?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like I said, this little doodad, I mean, the whole setup, less $50 or less.
Yeah.
That's with the canister and the special extra tray.
I would say probably closer to 60.
I mean, you could just fry in a fry pan.
You could. The one thing about most of the grills is that they'll have the drain, because I don't know if you can see inside how much like fat there is.
Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah. So,
And the bowl's easily, what, a third full?
yeah.
There's food on my plate. We're gonna let it cool down.
Can't quite get it in a frame. There we go. Springer's ever comes up to Seattle, I'll need to grill up some short ribs and steaks and chicken thighs. Scratch that, got a smoked chicken and some pork butt. Why not all of it? Why not all of it?
Yeah. Yesterday I came home and put on flannel pants and a sweatshirt. Like, it's better than last summer. Oh my gosh, last summer sucked here.
Yeah. And to be fair, I know, like, we've got friends in Texas and, like, back east, and it's like 100 degrees. But, I'm not complaining about, you know, the high 60s.
Yeah. Last summer was awful. We had 3 days at over 115.
Yeah.
All the trees facing south were burned on one side. Hey, Maria. One more last week. Okay.
I'm just looking at the ribs.
It's almost thinking like just pop them off now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put it on the rice. On the rice. Last one.
Yep.
Ooh, chili cheese dogs. I love chili cheese dogs. Not everyone here does.
There's only 2 of us.
Oh?
Oh?
It's a classic. It's an American classic.
Mushrooms?
Yes.
More mushrooms?
When you have a chance, do you hand me the radish slices?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because those are amazing with the meat.
What are the white things? It's pickled radish.
These here? Whoop.
Yeah, that's right. That's pickled radish.
It's a Korean radish. It's fantastic. I'm not a big fan of the pickling, but I like radish. This radish. Mmm. The yellow radish too.
Want some that bulky?
Oh, the white thing's on the grill.
Oh, these are that bulky. They're rice cakes.
I think duck, like D-U-C-K. It's spelled with 2 T's, but it's pronounced duck bulky.
I have a sprained ankle, so doing real cooking is not really possible for me. Oh, dude. I feel that pain. I have been there. That is good. Let's turn it off.
We are done with the cooking. This night's coming to an end.
Well, not quite yet, because we're still eating. Dinner ain't over yet.
Nope. Sorry about the sprained ankle.
Those are never fun.
At least it's not broken. Well, Uncle Siggy's talking about the dishes. Yes, there's a lot of dishes here. We don't normally do that like this way. We usually keep the banchan in the container it's stored in the fridge and just drop that on the table.
Yeah, if it's just us, but you know, we're having all y'all with us.
Since you're with us today, we got out some. Fun fact, we still have tons of dishes.
Yeah. This is a very small portion.
When we first got married, we couldn't decide on a pattern. And the only compromise we can come up with was the Japanese way of every dish is unique and different. So we went that route. So every time we go to the market, we'd buy one platter or one plate or...
Yeah.
Ooh, this bowl's cute. It's $3. I'll buy that.
Yeah, and it's always at a... it's like a Japanese market or something like that that has... like discount tableware and stuff like that. Let's see if that is any.
Well, that bowl with the lettuce in it, that was actually pretty expensive. That's probably the most expensive one on the table.
Yeah, that was one that we bought locally at a farmer's market.
Yeah, it's a custom made by a lady. It's fun though.
There we go.
Tteokbokki is excellent.
Yeah. I did really good on that beef. The beef is delicious.
Indeed. My only negative is this is a hard thing to take for lunch tomorrow.
True. We have some other stuff in the fridge.
Yeah.
I love to do that with my roommate / homeowner's boyfriend is OCD and he already hates that I leave a spoon out for stirring my tea. Ooh. That sucks, dude.
I'm not apologizing. We live here. Some days it's messy.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry about that. I've been
True.
so busy working this last week, I was like, nope, this floor needs to be swept. Thank you for doing that, which, by the way, I was like, it's just gonna have to wait.
So one little thing that I just noted, because where I bought the short ribs that we had on Sunday versus where I bought the short ribs that we're eating right now, two different places.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've sucked on the bones at all.
A little,
But the you can see the edge of the bone there, how it looks kind of frayed and ragged. And so you get all these little bone flecks and stuff. The place that I got the ribs that we had on Sunday, different place, the bones were totally smooth. And when it comes to like eating these kinds of things, having those smooth cut bones is a big deal. Because then that way you don't have all kinds of little bone flecks in your mouth and stuff. Different pattern plates might make him lose his mind. That'd be funny.
yeah,
I have
we
an awesome
have.
killer rent for the Seattle area. I don't complain about it or anything. Yeah, Seattle rent in Seattle's not the greatest. Hey, it could be worse. You could be in San Francisco.
The nice thing about all the plates is if one breaks, it's no big deal. We got lots.
Yeah.
The downside is oh man, that was my favorite one. Why did that one have to break?
Yeah. And that happens sometimes, you know.
Yeah. But we haven't spent a lot of money. Now, what's interesting, up here, dishes are easily $10, $12. Whereas down there, and down in Southern California, it would $3, $5, $7.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't have the good discount places up here.
Well, and in all fairness, everything comes in through the port of LA, and they then have to ship it up here. There's a fee for that. Business. That's right, I have a business degree.
Mm. So good.
So good.
I think we can turn the fan off.
Yeah. Hmm.
Just living up to my namesake. Sucking on them bones.
Oh. El Chihuahua. I was like, wait, what? Your name's Decay. Are you decaying right now?
No, the El Chupahueso.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see, but there's a thin layer of fat splattered everywhere.
Including my glasses.
Yeah.
I'll have to clean these off later.
It was worth it, though.
Yes, I agree. That is the one nice thing about going out to Korean barbecue places,
Mm.
is their ventilation is usually very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you see videos of the places in Korea, they'll have like this hose that comes down to like sit right over the grill to suck all the smoke and everything off
Like
of
right
it.
here.
Tomatoes and green bell peppers stuffed with rice. You have made that. You've made that before, Maria. I know because, well, or at least her mom's made it. I know because she sent me pictures and has teased me with it multiple times. Because it looks very good.
It's a bummer you're on the other side of the planet. How amazing is that? We get to have dinner with people from all over the world.
It's true. It was her mom. Yeah.
I think we're about done.
Getting the meat sweats.
Almost.
With the happy nappies.
Nice.
Cleaning up from the dinner isn't that big of a deal. What's gonna be the real pain is taking all of this down.
Yeah, all the lights and stuff. Totally worth it.
Actually, hang on. Hi, Jen.
How much were the Korean short ribs? We bought
excuse me,
these.
Jane.
These were from the freezer, if I remember correctly.
Jane, whoa,
Like, we've had these a long time.
not that long.
Not that long. Short time.
So, I'm gonna kind of rotate the camera.
Our friends.
So there's a light, the phone being used as a source, other light, laptops, and there's the my makeshift
diffuser
diffuser,
for the fan.
and then on the floor I've got a couple of triangles for the position of the tripod legs.
I don't know, the short ribs on Sunday, they were what, 30, 40?
$47.
47. We did not buy them. Our friends bought them.
Yes, they did.
That's not a purchase we make that often.
Yeah, short ribs definitely tend to be on the expensive side. But I mean, that's just kind of how it goes. And part of the reason why like Korea really flocked to like pork belly as opposed to the short ribs, because pork belly is significantly cheaper, and so that's why it just kind of boomed. However, there's a number of chefs in Korea that are trying to get away from just talking about pork belly and trying to talk about like the hind leg muscles and other parts of the pig, because Korea imports a crazy amount of pork belly. I want to say they one of the biggest countries that they import them from is actually Brazil. But that's how much belly that they eat. I mean, they can't keep up with the production because, well, Korea is like the size of Washington State. So just to
Your nose.
just to kind of put it in perspective. Link.
Uncle Stinky noticed the wall of cookbooks behind
Oh
us.
yeah, these are all cookbooks.
Every single one's a cookbook. DK's been collecting for a very long time.
Yeah, I have been. I love books about food. Even my dyslexic self has collected several. Yeah. And I mean, I've got a stack of books actually sitting at my computer desk right now just because I've been like putting together some ideas for things and some reference stuff, and so I probably have half a dozen at the desk right now.
Yeah, when it comes to a recipe, he won't just follow one. He gets 5 different books out and then combines it into one master cookbook recipe.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty, I don't know. For
You
me,
should
it's
do a
standard.
stream about that.
Yeah, that's actually something I wanted to do. Where, like, I'll go through, like, the cookbooks that I have, and I'll also, like, look online, and I'll try and look at as many recipes for the same thing as I can. And then from there, I'll usually pick out like, okay, well, what's sort of like standard, what's kind of, you know, something that everybody does. Or, you know, if something stands out because I think, oh, okay, I think this one might work a little bit better, and then like I'll tweak it from there in order to kind of generate my own recipe on things. But that's kind of the game plan for that sort of thing. We do the same thing about recipes and pick what I like from each. Yeah, exactly. And to be honest, it's usually the best way to go. There are certain recipes where it's like I'll try it and I'm happy with it, and so I'll leave it alone. More often than not, though, I change it up. Like even
very rarely do you leave a recipe alone.
Even like the cornbread recipe that
you tweaked it 2 days later.
2 days later, and then I did it a third time.
Yeah.
Where I changed up kind of the mixing procedure and everything else. However, now it's fantastic.
Everyone always asks me, like, how great is it to have a husband who cooks? Well, it's great, but you never get the same meal again. Like, if you fall in love with something, I'll never get it again.
Yeah.
It's always going to be different in some form.
A little bit, but then again, you know, our memories of what flavors were tend to change over time. That's just kind of how it goes. But,
True.
I'm pretty stuffed.
The internet's fantastic.
My favorite recipe book. Yeah, totally. And to be, like I mean, Maria, I've been collecting these books for, I don't know, 20 years, something like that.
Yeah.
But more often than not, it's like nowadays, like I'm not buying anywhere near as many cookbooks as I used to, for that very reason. But sometimes there are books that have very specialized recipes or something, or a particular subject matter that I can't very easily find online. A great example is one that I got for my birthday. Was called Oaxaca. It's a state.
You just got that one.
I did just get that one. It's a state in Mexico, and a lot of the recipes that are in there are very specific to that area, which it's difficult to find anything, at least in English, that has that. My Spanish is very rusty, but I can usually fumble through the stuff. Yeah. And then you find, I never thought of putting in that, and it is awesome. Oh yeah, no, totally. Where you're looking at recipes for stuff, and you're like, hey, I never thought about adding X, and then you try it. This was a topic of conversation that actually came up. I think it was Sunday or something like that. Yeah, I think it was Sunday. There's a YouTube channel that I follow, and they had posted a comment on YouTube, Hi Jane, talking about how they had posted a video that had been picked up by the Chinese Twitter, and somebody on there was taking them to task about some of the information that was in it, and they're like, well, that's weird because our experience is X, but they're saying Y. And so they were gonna do like a point-by-point reaction and counter the things that were said. Well, long story short, what they found out was they were both right. That within the specific area that they were talking about, there were pockets of people that made this particular recipe in this particular fashion. However, outside of those pockets, they did it in the other way that these folks on the Chinese Twitter were taking from task. Anyways, the topic that it really kind of brought up was this idea. Hi, little puppy.
Oh, neither.
Little girl decided to pop up and say hello.
Hello there.
Hello there. Hi, pup.
She's so funny. That dog is hilarious.
She is. She's very funny. But what it kind of brought up was, don't be. No, that's not for you. What are you doing?
It's your wagon. But I want some.
I know you two want some, but it ain't for you. Your food's in the fridge. We'll get you fed in a little bit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll feed you. They will not stop licking me.
Oh, are they like, feed me now?
Yeah.
Okay. She's keeping an eye on you, wondering if you're going to grab their bowl. Yup. She's like, okay.
She's not as excited about eating as Jay is.
Yeah, but she's actually following you, whereas Jane isn't. Oh, there he goes. Hopefully he doesn't knock the camera over. Anyways, so the topic that it really brought up was this idea of kind of the traditions of our fathers, especially when it comes to food, and how this is the way that it's been done, and it's been done this way forever and a day. And that's the only way that it can be done. But is that necessarily the best way? I mean, having a foundation is important, but I would like to think that in the, however many thousands of years China's been around, I would like to think that they'd kind of like moved on and learned some stuff from that. Same thing with most, food cultures, is that you find that there are those that are very strictly like, this is how it's been done, this is how we're going to continue doing it. But sometimes it's not necessarily grounded in the best of ideas, and so it becomes necessary to think outside the box and change it up. Use it as a good foundation for moving on to something better.
Well, I think it's important to find out why. Like, why has it always been that way?
Yeah,
that is the story of that lady who, well, my family's always cut the ends off the roast, and then only to find out the ends were cut off because the roast pan wasn't big enough. So
the story is like the daughter is like, cut the end off of a pork roast before she baked it. And the only reason why she did it is because her mom did it. Her only reason why her mom did it was because her mom did it. The only reason why her mom did it was because their pan was too small. And so there was that little bit of information that was lost as to why they actually did it. And so, anyways, this is the kind of thing I think about. My mom had a pastry book one of her friends gifted my mom when I was a kid. She doesn't use it since she got a tablet. Yeah, I totally get that, Maria. Yes, Vera's a very pretty girl. She was a rescue. We don't know what exactly she is. We suspect that she's Whippet with some American Pit Bull Terrier? Something like that. Like, you see, like, hints of it in there, but she definitely, like, runs around like a Whippet and bounces like a Whippet. So.
And is skittish like a Whippet.
And is skittish like a Whippet, yeah. She's wrapping the tablet with plastic wrap, and she's bringing it on the table next to the ingredients. Hey, you know what? That's totally valid and a good idea. So then that way, she doesn't jack up her tablet, because tablets are pricey.
Yeah.
So I get it. But I'm like, I want a little bit of vegetation.
Half the lettuce, I think.
Yeah, I think you did. Like, you were going to town on that lettuce.
I needed the lettuce. It's good for me. It is. Apparently, I have a meeting. What? Yeah. I've just been notified. It started 15 minutes ago. Like, oh, well, you're gonna have to wait. I'm busy.
Garbage. You never have meetings on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I do. Almost every other Tuesday. But we just had one, so.
Some people like to have meetings just so that they can have meetings.
I'm tired. I told you I was tired.
I know you're tired. Oh, no, you're not talking to me. But
I've been working a lot. I pulled in, 55, 60 hours last week. Easily. But thankfully, I don't think I'll have to work any more overtime this week.
Nice.
And I'm thinking Monday I'll show up late.
Good call.
One of the best things about being salary is I can show up late and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it for me, folks. Unless you have anything else. Unless there's any questions. Yes, thank you for joining us for dinner. And I mean, unless there's some questions from the class, thanks to Radio Hatisse and Uncle Stinky and Avocado Green KitchenAid. I know Lumpy Pickle was around, the Scots. your kit me, any lurkers that are hanging out. Thanks so much for coming in, just hanging out with us. You know, we appreciate that you're here. She also has a folder with printed recipes from before the tablet era. I have a stack of printed out recipes, Maria.
Yeah.
I use primarily, like, I'll print them out, but then I'll use them to, like, mark up and change stuff before kind of, like, rewriting it. So, like, even in the kitchen right now, there's probably about, I don't know, 8 or 9 sheets of different recipes that I have in there. So then that way I kind of have a hard copy. And to be honest, like, if a printout gets ruined, I don't care. But if, like, one of my books gets ruined, I kind of take issue with that. So,
Uncle Stinky's a cat person.
but I miss having a dog around. My room is gonna get a chihuahua.
This one's allergic to cats, so.
Yeah, me and cats don't get along too well.
And I thought he was kind of faking it. No.
No,
He really
I'm
is allergic.
I am, in fact, quite allergic to cats.
So.
But
We thought he was allergic to dogs, but then we found out he's not.
no, but yeah, but chihuahuas, no.
Yeah.
No.
There's nothing wrong with small dogs, but chihuahuas are
awful.
They're kind of mean. I think they're one of the dogs that bite the most.
Yeah. Actually, I believe Chihuahua is, like, at least in terms of the number of dog bites recorded per year in the U.S., I think Chihuahuas are
It's up there.
responsible for the most.
They're up there.
But
Hey, if that's what they want, no judgment. But that's not.
no, they're judged. Chihuahuas are awful.
That's not a dog I will ever own.
Nope.
I don't even want a Chihuahua mix. But there's some great small dogs out there.
Not Chihuahuas.
I work at a shelter, and someone brought in the cutest little 8-pound. It was 8 weeks old, so I don't know. The dog was, 12 pounds maybe, of this little tiny poodle puppy. It was the cutest thing. And staff, of course, adopted that out real fast. One of the benefits of working there is we get first pick on the good dog.
Wants a Chihuahua to act more like a cat?
No, Chihuahua's not going to do that.
Chihuahua's not going to do that.
Although they do like to be held, which some cats are that way.
Maria, you've got 8 cats?
Wow.
Hang on. Are they all yours, or are some of them, like, outside cats that pop in periodically?
We call those here barn cats. That they're part wild. So they'll come into the shelter and be, fixed, and then released back to keep the mice down. Do their cat business.
Basically, so. Alright, well, have a good night, folks. We'll see you Thursday. No clue what I'm making yet. We'll see when we get there. And, new reaction should be coming pretty soon. Working on editing.
I haven't seen the last one. Oops. Some Wi-Fi.
I have the most supportive wife ever.
Woo!
You just said you've been working like 55, 60 hours.
Lot.
It's fine. I understand.
I love you.
So, I know. I love you too. All right. Anyways, it's fortunate they delivered a 72-year-old girl from a Pekingese. Wow. So, all right. Anyways, have a good night, folks. Take care. We'll see you. Love y'all.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be?